up, beautiful people? This is Pretty Girl Love Trap content.
Hello, everybody. I know there's still people out there that haven't subscribed. So, subscribe. You heard me. Subscribe to Auntie's channel, Pretty Girl Love Travel Content.
Hey, what's up? What's up? What's up, beautiful people? It's Pretty Girl Love Trap content. And yes, we are here to discuss BMF documentary episode 3, y'all. Like, I really was feeling this. I was feeling this. I had a feeling once they get to the Atlanta of it all, I would get a little more intrigued, okay? Because your girl, she be nosy, okay? She be nosy, all right? Oh my God. So give me 1 second, guys. Of course, my sister decides to call. Hold on 1 second. How y'all doing tonight? Okay, because you know what it is. 1 second. Hold on. Sorry about the inconvenience of it all. Okay, family come first. Y'all family, she family. I'm just saying, okay? All right. Let's see here. What's up, Detroit? How are you? Good evening. Hey, Daria Boo, what's up? Yeah, so like I said, I had a feeling once they get to Atlanta, I was going to be a little more intrigued with the whole story, okay? And let's get into the thick of things, all right? So, we of course got the infamous, calls from Demetrius Flannery, okay? He's recanting everything, from, of course, the prison phone lines and whatnot, all right? And we're pretty much discussing his transition to the ATL shouty, okay? What's up, Ronald? How are you? So, it's 1989 in terms of that's when he allegedly, okay, went to Atlanta. But of course, they're putting footage in Atlanta 1991 of Freaknik. I'm going to let it slide. It was still annoying to me. But hey, I'm going to let it slide, okay? But pretty much Freaknik's been around since like the early 80s, okay? And his homeboy, Meech's homeboy, he went to Atlanta first. He was like, bruh, them things is staying down here, okay? I ain't talking about the bricks. I'm talking about the brick houses. Like, what's up, my boy? You coming through? I'm hella ad-libbing, y'all. But I can, imagine what he was telling Meech, because he himself was like, it was nonstop partying. It's okay. We was smoking, we was drinking, clubbing. Like, we ain't never seen nothing like this. It was like Disney World up in there, okay? So you could tell he was definitely, having a good time with his boy, okay? And he was like, it was all cool until Tara came in the picture, okay? And that pretty much ceased. And I felt just a little bit a little bit of salt from the homeboy. You know what I'm saying? He was like, he was chilling with her. You know what I'm saying? So we have Tara here as well, which was Meech's girlfriend. She was like a little bottle girl. They met at a car wash. And, she recants, pretty much talking about his character, how he was just fun-loving, sweet guy. He talked about Detroit a lot and how, what's crabs in a barrel, it was a lot going on, a lot of violence and whatnot. And, he starts up, he was like, yeah, she was fine, a fine dark-skinned woman. I'm glad he said she was fine for a dark-skinned woman, because if he would have said that, and I still get a little bit annoyed, you know what I'm saying? Because it's like, why she just can't be fine? You know what I'm saying? I understand the colorism of it all. Whatever, okay? There's a light skin struggle, a dark skin struggle, and I'm in the middle. I call myself cornbread struggle, okay? I'm fine. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm in the middle. I'm in betwixt the two, all right? But, I'm going to let them slide for the, fine, dark-skinned woman, even though she was, beautiful and whatnot, okay? But yeah, Meech was pretty much trying to set his marking in Atlanta. They reference how Atlanta was pretty much an open market. There was nobody really there dominating. So it was perfect. Of course, Atlanta is the Black Mecca. It's the cornerstone of Black excellence. People down there, just living in luxury. He said, you saw that in Detroit, okay? If you want in the hood, you a suspect, okay? So with him just seeing all the Black excellence, I could tell, he seemed to be motivated, which anybody would. I mean, Atlanta is pretty much Black now, the Black Hollywood, thanks to Tyler of the Perry, okay, in his studios, okay? So yes, Meech, Atlanta, it's become a thing, okay? And so in 1990, which is a year later, Atlanta won the bid for the 96 Olympics. So, of course, we got to start cleaning up, okay? Because the world is going to be traveling to the ATL. And, of course, ATL has to be a good host, okay? And be a good representative, all right? So, they represent, okay, we got 6 years to clean up, all right? So, of course, they start, digging into all the necessities of the law enforcement, okay? Because this is the height of the crack era. You know what I'm saying? It's getting real popping in Atlanta, like the Wild Wild West. And yes, we have what we call the Red Dog Unit, and it stands for Running Every Drug Dealer Out of Georgia. I was like, that's kind of fire. I mean, I'm all for an acronym, okay? That was kind of fire. I like that name, okay? What's up, Moja? How are you? Are you still, exploring the other countries and whatnot? If you are, hope you're being safe. If you're back in America, hope you are getting some good rest, okay? Because I know you be putting in that work or what have you, okay? So the Red Dogs, they over there cleaning up shop in Atlanta. And in addition to that, the feds, they coming through with the indictments. And it pretty much shut off the Colombian Caribbean pipeline through Miami, to Georgia, what have you. So Meech was like, it was dry, okay? It was dry than a camel's punani in terms of ATL, okay? It was a scruggle up in there, okay? So the next best thing was a Mexico option, because in terms of Mexico, that's when, Texas and California, they was, pretty much pipeline through then, okay? So now we in Mexico in terms of like, getting the drugs eventually from there, but it's a process, okay? So Meech was like, okay, I gotta go where the drugs are, okay? I gotta go where the drugs are. So he goes to Cali. I'm like, the entrepreneur spirit of my boy. I mean, I ain't mad at it, okay? Even though it's breaking the law, I ain't mad at it, okay? Modai, you say you're in Thailand right now. Oh, I'm so honored to be your entertainment while you are in Thailand, okay? Please, you know what I'm saying? Get some sand under those toenails, get you a nice little drink. I prefer a pina colada, you know what I'm saying? Well, I hope you're enjoying your time there. You much deserved vacation. Now back from our commercial break, okay? So here enter Wayne Joyner, okay? He, was approached by a middleman. He was like, yo, Meech, he trying to meet you because, yeah, he wants to know the connect, all right? And so he said, at first, I played Meech to the left, all right? I was on a forced retirement. Them feds was on my ass. And I low-key was scared, okay? Because I'm a healthy boy, all right? And I cannot survive off of the drug of the meals up in the penitentiary, okay? I need my Roscoe's, all right? So of course, Wayne, he was like, I'm chilling for right now. All right, let me stop playing. Wayne say all that, okay? But I'm just saying I miss me some Roscoe's, okay? So he was like, some things started to happen, okay? I got divorced, was getting divorced, carburetor, was messing up, roof was caving in. Like, it was a lot going on, a lot of unfortunate circumstances in Wayne's life. So he was like, you know what? I'm gonna take Meech up on his offer, okay? So it seems though they low-key became roommates, okay? They were saying like, hey, we do the same things. We like to smoke, drink, and F you know what. So let's form this situation, okay? And so Wayne, according to his story, he said he bought some weed from Green Eyes, okay? Which is the nickname of Jean Paul, okay? Sir, that's pictured on the bottom right, okay? And so apparently Green Eyes had some connections to the Mexico, situation, okay? And so eventually Jean Paul really was able to secure that connect. And according to Wayne, the floodgates opened, okay? Cocaine everywhere in abundance, all right? And Meech was like, it's one thing to get 1 to 2 bricks, but when you get 100 of them things, it's a different story, okay? And Wayne, he stated like Meech, he always wanted to be the Costco's of drugs, okay? And I'm like, all right, Meech, was you giving rollback prices like Walmart? Like, let us sister know, okay? Let us sister know. So we also have commentary, okay, from the girlfriend, and she was like, Meech will always, we will always be watching movies, The Godfather. So they recant pretty much stating that, Meech was pretty much emulating his style or getting a lot of pointers, if you will, from the mob and from certain movies like Scarface and such, okay? Because he was ready to build an empire, okay? And so, in quest to build this empire, he was traveling city to city, state to state, trying to low key interview people. Okay. So, he was low key like an Indeed.com, but in person. Okay. He was going to every hood, you know what I'm saying? And trying to get them employees going. All right. He said, as a black man, I feel like there's no place I can go. If I ain't coming over there tripping and whatnot and just trying to give the people an opportunity, this shouldn't be a problem, okay? So he was low-key doing his interviews, St. Louis, all the like little hot spots. It's low-key reminding me of Snowfall just a little bit. Just a little bit, because I do need some follow-up in terms of the Little Rock situation. But I digress, okay? So they also start talking about, of course, the differences between the brothers. We already know there was polar opposites, and they kept stressing how Meech just loved the party. Okay, he was buying bottles and doing all the things, and he was like, "Well, if we, sold all the dope and clocked out, why not? Why not enjoy the fruits of our labors? Okay, and have a little fun." But it seems as though he was still multitasking because that was low key his tactic to kind of draw, partnerships. He would say that he would, buy out bottles and just kind of, be the center of attention in the clubs. And that would kind of attract people to him. And, he was like, yeah, I wanted to look like that dude where people wanted, would want to spend millions and millions of dollars with him. So I was like, okay, Meech, for your multitasking, okay? And they always mention how Terry, he was low-key like a bougie drug dealer, okay? He likes, the finer things in life. He was probably over there, in Detroit, holding things down, eating caviar, passing people the Grey Poupon and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? They mentioned he liked to travel, the fine jewelry, okay? Not the gaudy things that Meechnum was wearing, okay? He liked the nice little, classical watches and whatnot. But I don't know, like, I don't think we're going to get Terry's commentary on this documentary. This must be like the Meech show here. And I'm not mad at it, but Terry is just he's just a mystery, man. It's so intriguing. So I'm like, Terry, like, are we going to write a book later? Are we going to have an interview with Oprah in a couple of years? Like, let us sister know, okay? Do y'all care? Let me know in the chat. Do y'all care to hear from Terry or not? Am I asking for too much? I mean, based on everybody's perception and, recanting of his personality, he wouldn't really necessarily be down for interviews, but I still want to hear from him. This is his story too, okay? But I digress, all right? So In the year 2000, Meech convinced Terry to move to LA. And at that point, he began to oversee the drug shipments, coming in from the 18 wheelers and that whole process of, just distributing the drugs from LA to the rest of the country. And they said they'd be ripping and running all over the country and whatnot. Okay. They was tearing up cars, storing drugs in the cars. They had little compartments. They had a whole combination situation where you low key had to like hunt the horn 18 times. Make sure the temperature was at 68 degrees. Make sure you pop the the console. Okay, say Candyman 5 times and do the Macarena. Like it was a whole lot that you would have to do to actually unlock the compartments that the drugs were hidden. And, I do remember this in a previous documentary I watched where, from my understanding, I believe they owned a car dealership, but I feel like the father was involved. Don't quote me, but I feel like that was the case. But it's been years since I've even seen a documentary. So hey, y'all can go search for yourselves, okay? But it was looking like it was a profitable situation. And they mentioned like Terry was very meticulous. We had to count the money a certain way. We had to make sure we distribute the drugs a certain way. And you got to also make sure you knew what you was doing with them drugs and them cars, okay? Because it was a serious situation. And if you mess up, it's going to F up the whole line, okay? The whole assembly situation. So you have to be on your game. It was low key, even though it was a drug operation, a lot of trust was built into this because you had to make sure you was doing the right thing, all right? Hey, Jay, what's up? They make you want a piece of that money for a day. LL was not worth it in the long run. Exactly. And they stated, a couple of times when Meech would say, hey, I may go to jail, but I ain't gonna be broke. You know what I'm saying? So it seems like it was always possibly, a thought in his head, but I guess they was living by YOLO before YOLO, okay? But yeah, I can't. It was not worth it for me. What's up, Brilla? What's up? How are you? Talk about your peoples, okay? Talking about your Detroit peoples. So Meech, he was mainly, kind of like a traveling salesman, if you will, low-key. Even though he was based out of Atlanta, he had to set up the organization. So he would go from city to city, city to build, the structure. So he would have to assign lieutenants, capos, soldiers, like it was a whole thing, because we kind of low-key emulating the mob and whatnot, all right? And it come, the multiple interviews we get from former BMF members. We have Chad Jabo Brown, okay? Nice to hear that name a lot. And it actually stand for junior boss. I was like, I'm dumb. I should have been figured that out. But anywho, so he was pretty much the underboss low key for Meech. Then we also had Yolanda Yogi. She was like his personal assistant one night. I was like, okay, personal assistant Meech. I ain't mad, okay? Then we had Because he was from Compton. And then one of my favorites was White Boy, okay? AKA Steven, okay? And they called this man Firecracker because he get it popping. I was like, you know what? The nicknames of it all, I wasn't even mad, okay? I wasn't even mad, but they all, pretty much had the same story about Meech. He was just a fun-loving guy. He, necessarily didn't rule with an iron fist. He ruled with love. And they did stress that in the show, how Meech, he was, didn't want to rule by fear. Like there was one scene where he gave the drug dealers an incentive, of, I believe, his Rolex. You know what I'm saying? Because he could have easily put fear in their hearts because they weren't selling the drugs. But he wanted to make a little prize. You know what I'm saying? So I definitely appreciate, him being, I guess, a nice drug dealer per se, okay? But yes, y'all, it was a lot going on. And there was a lot of expansion. Oh Lord, they really was over there just doing a lot with the drugs, state to state, like moving dolos from state to state. Shout out to Belly, okay? And they would even like spray dog repellent on the bricks, so when they get searched by the cops, that the dogs wouldn't smell the bricks. I was like, I never would have thought of that. I never would have thought of that, but I never thought about selling drugs either. Oh God, what's up, babe? God, how are you doing? Hey, Samira, what's up? We over here talking about BMF, okay? But there was some footage of Meech pretty much exposing a lot, okay? And I low-key remember these in the documentary as well. I can't remember if it was like mixtapes or where the footage was coming from, but he was pretty much saying like, hey, we a family, we don't have no beef, no drama, we don't fight. Everybody get extras. I don't care if you the maid. I don't care if you the boss. Like, you all getting incentives. If you want to travel, you traveling. Like, what's up? Like, he definitely was running for like Senate drug dealer up in here. Okay. And I was feeling it, Meech. But the word exposure comes to mind, okay? It's a lot going on when you really just out here low-key giving interviews about your drug organization. Now, I guess, based on this footage, you could argue he was referencing and acting like he was talking about, a record label, but I don't think so. But don't quote me. Like I said, it's been a while since I've seen the old, DVDs. So I'm not sure at this point is he's acting as if he's a record label head or if he just out there was like, I'm selling drugs. I don't know. That's what I was thinking, Detroit. I was thinking, similar to Smack DVDs, but I wasn't sure if that was Smack specifically. But thank you for confirming. I appreciate that. But yeah, it was a lot because I remember they had the billboards, like they was doing a lot, okay? And from my understanding, that was causing a bigger rift between Meech and Terry because we know Terry is so low key, and Meech just low key be doing too goddamn much, okay? He low key flashing. I'm like, I can't say because I've never lived this life, but at what point do you be like, you know what? I'm good at the level I'm at right now. Like, I've made all the drug dealer money, or I'm good. I'm gonna just chill out, kick my feet up. But he just wanted to expand and grow and just do a lot. And I'm like, bruh. But eventually, maybe he just wanted to possibly completely be in the music business and leave the drugs alone. I don't know. I don't think I've ever heard him say that, but it's a lot, okay? But yeah, they was recanting how, he would have the mansion, and it low-key just like a big ass summer party, hood dudes in abundance, in beds, laughing, chilling, smoking, drinking, effing, just doing all the things. But white boy, he was low-key getting sentimental because his brother who has cerebral palsy, Meech took him in, had him everywhere. You see him pictured here with Jeezy on the bottom right, like Gabe was doing all the things, and white boy was like, I really appreciated that. And I low-key was, getting sentimental as well, but I was just like, well, it's low-key like the giving out turkeys on Thanksgiving situation. It's like, you're doing good, but you still doing bad. But I guess the hood do it in me. I used to always have that mentality like, well, if he don't sell the drugs, somebody else gonna sell them too. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just saying that's the trap queen of it all, okay? The trap queen mentality. I just grew up with a bunch of, pharmacists, if you will. So that's the train of thought that they have. What's up, the homie? How are you? Hey, Jai. But what's so crazy is Terry was mad at Meech for his flashy lifestyle, well, flashy style, but it was Terry's phone that caught the actual, got them Meech from jail. Yes, that's a great point as well. And some would argue, and I feel like I've heard this in one of the documentaries, it's possible that Terry's conversations got tapped because of Meech and his flashy lifestyle. It was kind of like a domino effect. I'm not completely sure, of course. We have to follow the story to see if they even, touch on that in detail. But I believe that was kind of the argument. Yes, Terry's phone was tapped and they had him on the phone talking crazy a little bit. But if Meech wasn't down in the ATL making it rain, literally, would, what I'm saying, would that have happened? But when you that big, you gonna get caught. Like, you gonna get caught. That's inevitable. Hey, Savannah, what's up? How are you? Haven't seen you in a while. Hope you're doing well. So, speaking of caught, okay, based on their story, they're pretty much saying like, hey, why we can't be a mafia, okay? We got the Italian mob, we got, all these other nationalities with mobs, but we don't have it. We without. So what do we need to do to become a mob? Oh, we don't need to do nothing. Just call a name out and we gonna go ahead and rock with it. So they ended up calling themselves Black Mafia Family, aka BMF. And of course, we got another acronym going on. So what do we do when we got some letters? We got to call Jacob the jeweler, whoever's out there, to pretty much engrave it in some ice, okay? So that's, the infamous situation where we would see the BMF boys in the club, popping bottles, listening to Jeezy, doing hood rat-ish with her friends, you know what I'm saying? And we got all this footage, and I just love the old school footage of them in the club. Meech just over there, just chilling with the cornrows, okay? Hey, Savannah said, I am walking now back to work. Girl, what happened? Walking now? Oh, Lord, I didn't know you had something going on, but I'm glad you're back to work and seemingly healthier. So prayers and blessings, hon. Prayers and blessings. But yes, Meech, he over there being the center of attention, low key. And yes, J-Bo was recanting the story where he was in the club. He saw about 5 or so dudes, all different nationalities, drinking beer, okay, Modelo or Corona, what have you. And they were just low-key peeping the whole scene, okay? He was like, at that point, I knew it was about to be a wrap, okay? We are under investigation, all right? Because when you attach yourself to some letters and it was getting hot and the name was being thrown everywhere, at the end of the day, what happens? You become the center of attention, okay? Because the po-po be on it. Okay, and this is the early 2000s, okay? The resources that the police have now, and these fools don't make it even better. Not BMF. I'm just saying these new dudes who just be telling all their business and making it hella easy for the feds to be knocking on that door, okay? Facebook, Instagram, I don't know if they be on Snapchat, TikTok. I mean, they just be dry snitching all over the place, okay? All over the place. I low-key want to be the people that's in the police department, like just researching social media all day. Oh, this is Andre such and such. Oh, this is his street name, Pookie. I don't know why that job just seemed hella intriguing to me, okay? I don't work for the police department, okay? Just let y'all know. I'm still up here in the trap, okay? Savannah, you had a growth on your back and it shrunk. Oh no. Oh my God. Well, I'm glad you're doing better. But yes, man. And that's, after J-Bo's story, of course, they're going to leave us on a cliffhanger like they have been doing. And that was pretty much the end of episode 3. Like I said, I really liked it. I really like that they're adding more people in the mix that was there. I am kind of questioning the statute of limitation because a lot of these people are pretty much telling us that they were selling drugs. So I don't know if they sold time and got out already, and that's why they can, talk about it. They already have time served, or what? Like, I need clarification, okay? Do I need to do the Googles on these people? Like, I'm pretty sure if Detroit's still up in here, or maybe Brillo, what have you. If y'all familiar with J-Bo, I'm pretty sure y'all are. If he served time for this, I feel like he probably did, and just got less time than Meech, because Meech had a lot more charges. But yes, I'm curious, even with the assistant Yogi, like, was you caught up with it? Because in one of the documentaries, I do remember them finding kind of like logs and manifests and, some of the houses. And when you find documentation like that and it's attached to a drug organization, like, I don't know if he got charged with a RICO specifically. I haven't looked it up, but you going down for a very, very, very long time. But one of my subscribers did confirm that Meech is supposed to get out, I believe, 2028. So he may have like 6 or so years. So I ain't mad. I would like to see Meech out and about. I could see him writing books. I could see him doing a low-key, the Freeway, Ricky Ross situation. But I do want to know, and I know we probably ain't going to find out, but do we got some money stashed somewhere? Like the money, the millions they've been making or they was making, like, bruh, where the money at? Where the money at? Do we have a bag somewhere? Is it something buried? Like, I'm just saying, let us sister know. Because from my understanding, I think Terry's son had like a clothing store a few years back. I don't know if it's still active and open, but I low-key saw an interview of him, and he was saying he had a clothing store. So I feel like something is still active out there. We just can't, just say, hey, we still have our drug money from 20 years ago. But I wouldn't be mad at it. I would not be mad at it, because they was raking in the dough. But Meech also said in one of the interviews that we can't take this money into the grave with us. So we gonna spend the money, all right? We gonna spend the dough. Well, Biggie say, I love the dough more than you know. So yeah, he was not shy about spending that bread. So I don't know. Hey, babe, God, he had to. They made hundreds of millions. That's what I'm saying. Like, they gotta have something left. Like, I'm just saying. All you gotta do is when you get out, have a humble life, and just, if you're spend it slowly but surely. Don't come out with a Rolls Royce. Please don't. Unless it's publicized that you got a hella good book deal, or I don't know, got a big loan from Jay-Z or somebody. Jeezy. I don't know if Jeezy giving up that bread. I don't think him and Jeezy are on good terms or anything. Jeezy doesn't really seem like he's on good terms with anybody at this point. But yes, I'm just curious what's going to be his future. Terry seems to be having a low profile, from my understanding. I don't be searching for him, but as we see, we have not yet heard from Terry. The most we're going to get out of Terry is his character on BMF, because that's the best we're going to get is through the show itself. The Marcus, what's up? Satira's girlfriend was in the game also. Yes, I can't remember her name, and I hate that, but I did watch her Vlad interview. Was pretty good, and she was actually on a reality show. I want to say it's Notorious Queens. I'm like 99% sure. It was called that, but I used to watch the show, but I didn't realize, I didn't put 2 and 2 together at the time, because that was several years ago. But she's a beautiful woman. I believe her character is being played by Lala on season 2, because Lala is supposed to be a series regular, or season regular at least, in next season. So this will be interesting, y'all. Hey, Tamika, what's up? What's up? But y'all let me know. This is episode 3. If y'all can just give me a quick grade based on like documentaries in general, like what would y'all give this documentary thus far? I'm not sure if it's 8 episodes. I know for sure it's at least 6. Because as soon as this goes off, we go right into BMF season 2, and I know we have a few holiday breaks, so I think they're timing it to where stars still trying to get that weekly bread. Okay, yes, thank you, babe God, Tony Welch, I appreciate you. It was Trap Queens. Okay, Demarcus, she probably was on that too, but the show that I'm referring to, because she was the only like trap queen, because she was in the midst of like some other like kind of like not basketball wives, but like other like infamous women and like social media and stuff. She probably could have been a part of more than one project. But yeah, she pretty much recanted the whole situation, how it, her and Terry's relationship was, how they pretty much went to LA and he was low key like pick any mansion. And I was just like, oh, that sounds good. But shopping, she recants the whole situation, how, when the feds came in and she had to do some time and had to come out. So it was definitely interesting listening to her story. Tamika, you said giving it a low score. It's funny because I be saying it too to the minute. I was like, this 26 minutes they giving us. But this was probably my favorite episode of the 3 because this is getting to the part that I'm more intrigued about and familiar with. So we have like at least 3 more episodes. So I'm curious to how far they're going to go and how they're going to take it. Like, are they going to go to a point where they get locked up and we get that story? I don't know. We're just going to have to ride this ride. But at the end of the day, this is what they're giving us. I do think this is good for the people that's not familiar with this story, especially for the people who are watching BMF. The younger, I would think, the 20-somethings, or people who are older and just not familiar with them. Because some people actually have been under a rock. So, but yeah, that's pretty much all that I have for you guys. I'm gonna just stick around for about 1 more minute to see if you have any other comments. But while y'all trying to type, if y'all are trying to type anything, please make sure you're liking this video, subscribe to my channel, please, please, please. I got a short-term goal of 600 subscribers. I need like 11 more. Come on, come get your girl to 600. All right, thank you, and please, all right. And just to let y'all know, tomorrow I'll be reviewing Power Season 3, Episode 2 at 8:15. Atlanta episodes 7 through 9 review will be on Thursday at 9 o'clock. And I am going to be reviewing Dead Presidents on Sunday, coming up 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm excited about that because there's a lot. So I'm going to have to try to figure out how to keep this review in a timely manner, okay? Because this could be like a 3-hour situation, and I'm not doing 3-hour review. So I'm gonna try to see what I can just specifically pinpoint to keep us under an hour, 90 minutes at the most, okay? But thinking about that, I'm like, dang, I low-key now want to review American Gangster, and I was thinking about Life today. So we're gonna see how that goes, y'all. But I appreciate y'all coming through. And yes, if you're watching replay, please let's get down in the comments, like the video, and yes, enjoy your hump day tomorrow. All right. Until next time, toodles.